Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron. I'm so grateful you're here with us today. We're looking at some reasons why you should use the King James Version of the Bible. So, God willing, the last few days have showed up on YouTube, and just watch those if you want. But anyhow, the English language, the experts, the translators were experts in the English language. So we're on sites.google.com, KJVtoday.net. Thanks for being here. We may get into early modern English too, because Tyndale literally created modern English by his translation of the Bible and his accuracy of Hebrew and Greek. So let's get started. Thanks for being here. So many students of the Bible often forget that the knowledge of Hebrew and Greek alone does not make one an apt translator. They were the best. Dan Wallace is going to challenge that in a little bit, but they were the best. Translation involves expertise in both the source language and the receptor language. The KJV translators seem to have a little better grasp of English than many modern translators. That may be a dramatic understatement. Consider this candid comment by Daniel Wallace, a critic of the KJV. It should be noted that as many faults as the KJV has, that's his opinion, it frankly has a superior rendering of the Greek perfect over many modern translations. Recall that the KJV was produced during the golden age of English during Shakespeare's era. For example, in Ephesians 2:8, the KJV reads, "For by grace are you saved," while many modern translations have, "For by grace you have been saved." Now, the perfect paraphoristic construction is most likely intensive, however. The KJV translators, though not having nearly as good a grasp on Greek as modern translators, I would say that is false. This is Dan Wallace talking, seem to have had a better grip on English. Ooh. They apparently recognize that to translate Ephesians 2:8 with an English perfect would say nothing about the state resulting from the act of being saved. That's from Dan Wallace's book, Greek Grammar Beyond the Basics, at 575. So he's saying in Ephesians 2:8 that the King James translators brought the Greek into English, and a lot of modern translators miss that point from the Greek language, and then for whatever reason did not have the perspicuity to do it in the English language. So also early modern English, let's look at this. Apart from inflected verbs, which are functionally important, what was it that Karl Barth said in Romans, that everything was about prepositions or verbs or something like that? All words in the KJV appear in contemporary publications. And this is on a book we've used multiple times here on the channel, but it's been a few years. Lawrence M. Vance, first-rate scholar, Archaic Words in the Authorized Version. Furthermore, there are many cases where even the NIV uses harder words than the KJV. Again, I did a video several years ago on that, and you can see for yourself. Compare the following. The NIV has abasement in Ezra 9:5, whereas the KJV has heaviness. Isaiah 24:23, the NIV has abashed. The KJV has confounded. Ezekiel 40:18, the NIV has abutted. The KJV has over against. 2 Chronicles 15:14, the NIV has acclamation. The KJV has voice. Isaiah 13:8, the NIV has aghast. KJV has amazed. Lawrence Vance provides 220 of these examples where the NIV uses a harder word than the KJV. He also does that in several translations, not just the NIV. A personal favorite is squall in the NIV instead of storm in the KJV, Mark 4:37. The KJV may be harder to read than NIV for someone not used to inflected verbs, but one thoroughly read the KJV first before making conclusions about its difficulty. And I made separate videos and also in videos, just opening the King James at random, reading it, and almost every word in the King James that's not a proper name, like a place name, person's name, is one syllable, 4 letters or less. The average number of syllables, I forget, I think it was in the New Testament, it's 1.31, and Old Testament was like 1.79. Far easier to read than like the Wall Street Journal. So they were just better at English, as well as being superior translators of Hebrew and Greek. So God bless. Thanks for being with us. Join us daily. Share with your friends, family, church family. Please continue to pray for us. We'll see you. Bye-bye.